Hello and welcome to Style Made Simple, the podcast from Escapology Home. I'm Grace, and today we're talking about something that sounds easy, but often isn't. How do you actually choose the perfect sofa for your living room? You'd think it's just about finding something you like the look of, wouldn't you? But the truth is, your sofa's got to tick a lot of boxes. It's got to fit your space, fit your life, feel amazing, and still look good 5 years down the line. So today, I'm breaking it all down, nice and simple. 5 things to think about before you start shopping, a few insider tips, and 1 or 2 stories to help you dodge the classic mistakes. So let's get into it. First up, size. And honestly, this is where most people slip up straight away. You have to measure your space before you do anything else. Properly, mind. Not just a rough guess. I heard about someone once who ordered a gorgeous huge velvet sofa. Looked amazing. Until it turned up. And they realized it wouldn't fit through the front door. They had to lift it in through the upstairs window. Yes, really. Expensive mistake. So, measure your room. Measure your doorways. Measure the hallways too, if you've got any tight corners. And here's a little trick that all good interior designers use. Grab a roll of masking tape. Mark out where the sofa would go on the floor. Walk around it. Imagine living with it day to day. If you're squeezing past it already, it's probably too big. All right. Once you know what sort of size you're working with, the next thing to think about is shape, and this really comes down to how you want the room to feel. If you've got a big open-plan space, a corner sofa or a L-shaped sofa can be brilliant. It helps zone the space without putting up walls. But if you've got a more traditional sitting room, something simpler might work better. A classic 2-seater, or maybe a 3-seater if you've got the room. And if you're someone who loves a proper chat, 2 smaller sofas facing each other can feel really welcoming. People sometimes ask, should I get a massive sofa, or a smaller one with a few armchairs? And honestly, it depends. A big sofa's brilliant if you love stretching out, but smaller pieces give you more flexibility, and they make a room feel a bit more sociable. Now, comfort. And this is so personal. I know someone who bought this stunning-looking sofa, really smart, really sleek. But after about 15 minutes sitting on it, your back would be killing you. It was basically designed to look good, not to be lived on. So think about how you live. If you're a sprawl on the sofa with the dog and a cuppa sort of person, you'll want something deeper with softer cushions. If you're someone who likes a bit more structure, maybe you entertain a lot, then a firmer, slightly higher seat might suit you better. When you're testing a sofa, sit all the way back. And you should always sit as you would at home. Don't do the showroom sit. Do a real sit to make sure it's comfortable. Try it out by sitting exactly as you would do for an evening in front of the TV. Curl your legs up if that is how you usually sit at home. Make sure it is comfortable and supportive in all the right places. If you're perched like you're at a bus stop, it's not the right choice, no matter how beautiful it looks. Alright, one of the biggest questions we get. What fabric? And here's where it gets tempting to just pick what looks prettiest. But be honest with yourself. What's your life really like? Got kids? Pets? Friends who love red wine? You might want to think about a performance fabric. They're brilliant these days, really soft but much easier to clean. If you want full-on luxury, go for velvet. Nothing looks richer. Leather's a classic too. Ages beautifully, but does scratch. And while it's a classic, choose the wrong color, and it can dominate a room. Bouclé's very in right now, that lovely soft nubbly texture, but maybe not ideal if you've got a cat who sees it as a scratching post. And if you're worried about little marks or stains showing up, a mid-tone fabric, not too light, not too dark, is often the safest bet. Hides a lot of sins, still looks smart. And last but not least, color. Your sofa's going to ground the room so it sets the whole tone. Light colors like oatmeal, stone, pale gray. They'll make the room feel bigger, fresher, a bit airier. Deep colors like navy, charcoal, olive green. They make a space feel more intimate, cozier. Some real-world advice. If you love the idea of a bold color but you're a bit nervous, here's a thought. Go for a neutral sofa, and bring in color with your cushions, throws and artwork. Much easier to swap those if you fancy a change later on, or if you make a color choice error. So there you have it. Size, shape, comfort, fabric, color. 5 simple things to think about before you choose your new sofa. And if you remember nothing else, just make sure you measure. Trust me. Choosing the wrong size is the #1 mistake people make. If you want a bit more inspiration, or you want to see what handcrafted comfort looks like, head over to escapologyhome.co.uk. We've got loads of beautiful sofas, made for real life. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow Style Made Simple. We've got plenty more real-world design advice coming your way. Thanks for listening, and until next time, live in style, live in comfort.